Good morning. It's another beautiful Sunday morning, and this is Mike Talk Principles in the leadership series. And this morning we'll be talking about abusive relationship, the cause of abusive relationship, the meaning, the cause, and how you can break out of this so-called devil that is ruining the life of people, called abusive relationship. And discussing this with me is no other person but Mr. Benjamin, but I call him Professor Benny Lion. Mr. Benjamin, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michael Sagi. Mike Talk Principles. I'm very, very happy to be here today. I'm elated. My heart is exhilarated, and I can't wait to have you on the show. I can't wait to be on the show.
Okay. So, Mr. Benjamin, you are always shooting and you're always getting it right at all times. Mr. Benjamin is an educator. Is also a humanitarian. Is into mathematics. Is a scholar in mathematics, and I want him to join me in discussing this today. So, when we say abusive relationship, Mr. Benjamin, what do we mean by abusive relationship?
Okay, now I personally would like to explain that term, abusive relationship, from my own understanding. Okay, most times I liken abusive relationship to things that people are always conversant with. And today, in today's terms, we know of abuse, drug abuse.
Okay.
We also know of several other things that we can abuse. We can actually abuse water. We can abuse, in fact, anything that we take into our bodies.
Okay.
We can actually abuse it. Now, first of all, what do you understand from the term drug abuse? Now, drug on its own is actually an essential commodity. It's a very essential thing. In fact, if not for drugs, majority of the humans on earth would have been dead by now.
Okay.
But guess what? When we abuse it, it becomes toxic, becomes bad, becomes ill to our own health, becomes something that we wouldn't want to associate ourselves with. Now, how do you abuse drugs? You abuse drugs when you go against the ethics of drugs, of
Okay.
medical ethics. What are the medical ethics? You need a professional to administer or prescribe drugs to you.
Of course.
But you are not a professional, but because you feel that drug feels good to your senses or your emotions, then you start taking it and it becomes abusive. So that's the same thing that we can liken to. In fact, there are other things that we can also abuse water when you take the excess of it. Now, when the ship is sailing the ocean and the ship sinks, why does it sink? Because it has abused the law of water.
Okay.
It has allowed water
To
go
get
into
on
it. So you have
the ship.
abused the ship, and definitely the ship is going to sink.
Yes.
So whatever we abuse, the thing becomes disastrous.
Okay, so how do you bring that to the
same applies with
relationship? Okay.
When relationship is abused, it becomes disastrous, it becomes toxic, it becomes harmful, it becomes ill to our health.
How do you abuse relationship?
Good. When we abuse relationship, just the way we have drugs to be very good for our body, essential commodity. Relationships too is essential.
Okay.
Scripturally, Bible says man will leave his mother and father and stick
to his
a woman,
wife.
and
Yes,
both
and
of
they
them no longer becomes
one.
they are
Yeah.
one flesh.
Exactly.
It's an essential thing that everybody is supposed to experience.
Okay.
But guess what? When we are with the wrong person, it becomes ill, it becomes harmful, it becomes toxic. Now, how does it become toxic? Because you are with the person who doesn't treat you the right way, who has disobeyed the ethics of relationship.
Oh.
Now, the ethics of relationship goes by the term that relationship is meant for companionship. It is meant for meeting up our personal needs and wants.
Okay.
It is meant to be between two couples who are compatible. But guess what? When all of these ethics or rules are being broken, becomes abuse. That's when relationship becomes
Okay, so the
abusive.
person who's supposed to be the object of care, the person supposed to be the object of love, the person is supposed to be the object of compassion, empathy. So the person now becomes an object of hate. So that means an abuse has taken place. The
Yes.
person you once profess love to, the person you once profess that you will do anything, you take bullet for the person. Then after some time, the person turns out to become what? An object of hate. The person who once loved you, who once cares about you, is not becoming a threat to your life. So that means that you are already what? In an abusive relationship. It might not be physical. Sometimes abuse can be mental. It can be social. Okay, when it's physical is when there's there's a slap, there's a beating and stuff like that. But when someone says something to you, someone who you so much care about, who you so much love, and it says something to you that destroys your person, regularly. I'm not saying like maybe it happens like once or twice in a year or in a month. This thing happens like regular, like it's an everyday thing. Like it's like in a week you experience like 3 to 4 times. The person says something crazy, something that is really makes you feel worthless. So you are already in a quicksand. A quicksand is that thing that is that sand that you step on and you just keep going down, and it's like you're in a bottomless pit. That is it. So that is what. Okay, now when you are when someone is in an abusive relationship, Mr. Ben, what would you why do people remain in abusive relationship? Why?
Well, that's a very good question because
People can just run away from danger, right? Naturally, when we see danger, we run away.
Yeah,
The other day I
sure.
was at a jar and there was a shot and everybody started running.
And
So
you run
why
away.
exactly? So something that is threatening to your life, you tend to run away from it. But how come people remain in abusive relationship?
Yeah, the reason why people can actually run away from danger, but someone who is in that danger finds it difficult to pull out, is two things. Now, the person who perceives danger and runs away has not actually encountered the danger yet, has not actually been indulged in the danger.
Okay.
But the person who is already in the danger, let's say someone who actually takes cocaine or drugs,
Okay.
he or she knows that drug is harmful to the health. In fact, smoking, it is written there that smokers are liable to die. But guess what? 1 out of 10 smokers will quit after reading that. Why is that so? Is it that they don't know, they're not aware that their lives are at risk here? No, they are aware, but there's an addiction inside. Now, what causes your addiction? Attraction causes addiction.
Okay.
There's a part of your brain called dopamine that strikes when you remember that thought. The same thing applies to relationships. There's a part of your brain that gives you this sense of the person whom you are being abused. You cannot be abused by someone whom you are not attracted to. Definitely, you will kick the person out of your life in a second. But guess what? 2 out of 10 of these.
That was quite funny.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
definitely,
true.
you kick the person out.
Yeah.
But 2 out of 10 of people, victims in abusive relationships, are able to get out. So what happens to the remaining 8 who are still indulged in it? They are still attracted to that relationship. In fact, if you try to pull them out, you become the enemy. They will pull you out first.
Wow. That's in line with what I just posted on my status yesterday. For those of you on my WhatsApp group and my Facebook friends, you know I posted something yesterday. Like that was like a trailer to this particular talk. You know, it's like what you're saying now is that people are remain in abusive relationship because they are attracted to the abuser, to their abuser.
Sure.
Okay, so it's like an addiction.
It's an addiction.
Just like when you're
Heavy
addicted to
addiction.
drugs, right? When you're addicted to substances, there is a kind of what you enjoy from it.
Sure.
So it's not everything you enjoy that is good for you.
It's not. It's not.
It's not everything you enjoy that is good for
It's
you.
the psychological issues that actually ignite your brains when you remember the person. In fact, if you pull that person out and give the person to someone who is very calm, the person will not be comfortable with that person.
She will want to go back.
Sure, she will.
Wow.
Because she's more attracted to that
So
person.
why are humans designed like this? Like why is it like that? Is it some? Should we leave this talk for another day and just go straight to the solution?
We'll leave it to another day.
Okay, so now
we've
been able to find out that people are in abusive relationship is not because they want to be there, but it's like an addiction from this discussion. You understand? They remain with the abuser because they are attracted to the abuser. The way people are attracted to substances. People who take coke, for example, or every other hard drugs. I don't want to mention them now because I don't want Instagram to bring down the video. Okay, so you know some of these substances, like people keep taking them, and the more you try to help them, they'll tell you, I really want to come out of this, but I don't know. The more I try, the more it backfires on me. You know. So the same way, people who remain in abusive relationship are there because it's like an addiction. They are attracted to the person, to the abuser. In fact, the more the abuser deals with them, the more they become even more attracted. So it's already like a sickness.
Yes. Another reason.
Okay.
Quickly, 1 minute.
Okay.
Another reason why people tend to stay in such kind of abusive relationship, it's simply because, humans are like robots. Humans are like robots. What is a robot? A robot is a machine which is coded by a programmer. A programmer codes the robot and tells the robot what to do, and the robot does not go out of that line.
Yeah.
So there's a thing you start telling me today. You keep telling me for like 21 days, according to scientists. what is done repeatedly for 21 days start becoming your habit.
Okay.
Now, the abuser is like the programmer. The victim is the robot. Now, imagine a person who has been in a abusive relationship for like 10 years. And for 10 years, this person has been abused. Now, to come out, the longer it gets, the harder it becomes to pull out. Why? Because your brain is already getting used to the new normal. You believe that this is how life should be. If the person keeps telling you are ugly, you are stupid, you are worse than everything else, you are worthless, you start thinking that you are worthless. And to pull out, if you are about to pull out, you start thinking that, oh, if I pull out, since I'm worthless, that means I have nothing to gain outside.
To offer.
So this is the person who has the best chance to manage me. You see, that's the problem. Because you feel you are worthless, you feel you are useless.
So when I leave this location, I'll be useless. Outside.
So fear of the unknown strikes in because you don't know what's outside, because you are like a robot, because the programmer has already started telling you that this is who you are. This is what you. So you need another super programmer to decode.
To remove the virus.
Which has
you need
in your system.
So in fact you're already going to our discussion for next week. Okay. So now what I get to understand is that you are the abused is like someone who has virus. It's like a computer system that has been damaged.
Sure.
It's been damaged psychologically. And for you to remove a virus from a computer system, you need to get another program called antivirus to remove that virus. And that is what we are going to be discussing next week on we call it the part 2 of the topic in our leadership series, which is abusive relationship, the meaning, the cause, and the solution. So please stay tuned to Mike Talks Principles. By next week, I'll still be here with by the special grace of God with Mr. Ben, and we'll be discussing on why do people get stuck in abusive relationship and how can they break free from this. Then before we go into how abusive religion can be in the future series.
Thank you.
So once again, Mr. Ben, I want to say a very big thank you to you for your time.
Thank you.
I know you had to travel all the way from Cooperative Villa, Badore, to meet me here for this discussion. I really appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you, enjoying your to gaining from your wealth of experience in terms of human relationships. And I know you are very, very good with people, and I've seen you the way you deal with people. I know that you're very, very good with people. So someone like you that we need a lot to be able to tell us more about how we can improve on our relationship with people, especially as leaders, because as this remains the leadership series. At this moment, I want to say a very big thank you to you, and till we see again, this remains Mike Talk Principle. Bye for now.